I asked Father Ronald if he wanted to preach just now, but he said no, so you get me. Isaiah tells us this interesting story that we hear in our first reading today, and it's a good reminder for us, a reminder that God can make use of people and events to carry out his divine plan, even when the intentions of those acting are in themselves completely unrelated to God's plan and not striving to follow God's will at all. When the Assyrian ruler goes on the offensive, he implements God's plan. But what he achieves, as Isaiah tells us, is not what he intends. Of course, we know that with the eyes of faith, we see differently. We see in the reading and interpret the scriptures in a different way. And the person of faith can recognize these actions as part of God's plan. The eyes of faith don't change what happened, which are there for believers and unbelievers to see, but it changes what we see in those actions. What is important for us, obviously as believers, is to have the eyes of faith so that we can see correctly. Faith, we know, is a precious gift, and we also know it's one that needs to be nurtured so it can grow. We become sons and daughters of God through the gift of faith which we receive at baptism. And Jesus reminds us in the gospel today that God reveals himself and his plans to the childlike, to his chosen ones, his sons and daughters, while hiding it from the wise and the learned. The way we're able to see all that happens with the eyes of faith, the way we're able to deepen our relationship with God is obviously through prayer. So my brothers in the seminary, this is the most important thing you will do while in the seminary during all your preparation, to develop a deeper friendship with Jesus through a disciplined daily prayer life. While the other pillars and dimensions, as they're now called, are very important and necessary, your disciplined prayer life, your friendship with Jesus, will carry you into the priesthood and keep you focused in your priestly life and ministry, helping you to navigate and deal with any challenges or disappointments that might come your way amidst the blessed life of ministry, which I hope we share. The three essentials that Jesus taught his apostles about prayer, and which he teaches us, are patience, perseverance, and persistence. You know, we're so used to now, since the pandemic, the PPPs, especially the pastors, has a whole different meaning, huh? But for us, with the eyes of faith, it's patience, perseverance, and persistence. We must be aware of the powerful temptation to become discouraged or even impatient when we feel God isn't hearing us or isn't listening to us, or that he's forgotten us, or that he simply doesn't care. We know that that's a lie. So give yourselves generously and in a disciplined way to develop in your friendship with Christ, by persistent, persevering, and patient prayer during these years of formation. You certainly will not regret it, I guarantee you. And it's where God will reveal his ways to you, as Jesus tells us in the gospel today, and his plans for you as your loving Father and as his beloved sons.